The leading cause of death in the U.S. since 1975, according to the CDC, is heart disease. And although no one factor causes or prevents heart disease, exercise helps prevent it, specifically weight training, which is the topic of my speech today. I researched this topic. It is relevant because it can help prevent the leading cause of death in the U.S. And in this speech, we'll look at why weight training is necessary, what is required to start, and the most effective exercises. So now let's look at the health benefits weight training offers. Weight training is the most efficient way to prevent both health problems such as heart disease and make an individual physically fit. So obesity, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol are risk factors for heart disease and overall lower individual health. A sedentary life perpetuates these conditions, and lifting weights is a good, effective way to reduce these factors. Weight training also makes the body less susceptible to injury as well as disease. Compound lifts burn roughly 400 kilocalories an hour if done correctly at an average intensity. And since weight training is more physically demanding, it also increases cardiovascular strength and health. Weight training also requires the most calories to perform than any other kind of exercise, and it increases daily caloric maintenance requirements. The sweat from exercising also reduces salt and cholesterol levels in the body, as well as reducing chances of health problems due to high cholesterol and high sodium. And an increase in muscle fibers from lifting also increases the amount of calories the body needs a day just to survive. Next, we'll look at how to maximize workouts effectively. Every workout must be planned ahead of time and must be scaled to the user's fitness level. And proper technique and body control is the most important part during lifts. And while weight training is mostly knowing the technique necessary to avoid injury and to use the proper muscles targeted from a specific exercise. Inexperienced lifters should start with little to no weight until technique and form improves, since doing too much weight before one is ready may lead to lower confidence in an individual's strength, which could lead to them quitting. Also, too much load on untrained muscle tissues can lead to soft tissue damage and injury. Similarly, traditional dumbbells or metal plates are not required, but they are ideal. Also, a trainer is not required either. A simple backpack with textbooks in it can be adequate resistance to begin practicing technique. And sites like YouTube or Instagram have plenty of teaching points and on various lifts and precautions. Now let's look at most effective lifts. According to Men's Journal, the three most effective exercises are bench press, squat, and barbell deadlift. A barbell deadlift is the best exercise to build strength, both muscular and cardiovascular. In a deadlift, every major muscle group is recruited to perform the lift. If done properly, unfortunately, it also requires the most mastery of technique and concentration to avoid injury. Here is a picture of proper technique on the left over here, and on the right improper technique. As you can see on the improper technique, back is rounded, core isn't stabilized or activated, hips and shoulders are out of position, and the head is also out of position. Proper technique shows head in neutral, shoulders and hips aligned, core activated, and back straight. The barbell back squat builds hip explosiveness and leg drive, as well as core strength. Like the deadlift, squats require respect of the technique as well as deep concentration. Proper breathing and core bracing is also required, which builds cardiovascular endurance. Once again, we have improper technique here, where we can see head is facing downward, which means back will round through the back will round, increasing the chance of injury throughout the motion. Feet are narrow and feet are forward, back is unstable. Here's the correct form over here. We got the head facing upward or neutral. Back is stable, feet are shoulder width apart, and feet are turned outward to allow glute activation. Next is the bench press, which is the simplest but still requires a respect for the technique and proper form to avoid injury. Bench press builds chest and shoulder strength as well as stability in these muscle groups and requires significantly less proper technique than the other two. Here we have a progression of the movement with proper and improper technique. This is the improper technique here, where you can see the wrists are flexed, which will increase the chance of injury. Here the joints are stacked. We got the wrist, elbow, shoulder, and the wrists are not flexed. At the bottom of the movement, because of the wrist being flexed, now the elbow is out of position and the chest muscle does not have the proper stretch it needs to have to be used properly. Here the wrist is not flexed and the elbow is in position, allowing the chest to be in proper position also. To conclude, we looked at the health benefits of weight training, the precautions that must be taken, and effective workouts to begin. And I'll end by pointing out, for the foreseeable future, quarantine will continue, which means it is the perfect time to practice techniques and develop lifting plans for when gyms are open, again, so we can avoid a sedentary quarantine. Thank you.